Well, hi there. Welcome to the Obi Thorn Alliance. I'm Jacob. This is Luke, and in today's video, we are reviewing and discussing What If Episode 7. Comment down below your thoughts about the episode. Did you like it? Didn't you like it? Were you happy with the episode? And subscribe. It helps out the channel a lot. Hit the notification bell. And episode 7 involves what if basically Loki wasn't in Thor's life. So, did you like this concept, Luke?
It's probably my least favourite so far.
Fair enough.
It's different, but I guess we've said it time and time again. The beauty of What If is they don't necessarily follow on, and you can just throw the scenario away once you've seen it. So it's an interesting scenario, but it's not really important. I guess the other storylines, something significant happens because of the changes in this. Not really. Thor just becomes a partier.
Yeah.
And I guess he doesn't become an Avenger. That's about it. What about yourself? What were your thoughts on it?
I was thinking this is not really interesting or nothing's really happening, and then it felt like the reveal with Captain Marvel coming just added something to happen and do, like you were saying off screen. It's like, how are we going to involve Captain Marvel? And this is, I guess, an okay thing to do. I guess this asks what if who would be more powerful, and it's kind of even. They're basically the two most powerful beings in the galaxy, but that's basically the coolest thing besides the ending. Like, that probably makes it up, but besides, if it wasn't for the ending, I would say this was the weakest definitely out of all of them, even though Thor is such a cool character, but it's just not that good.
Yeah, I totally agree. So let's summarize it, bit of a recap. What in essence happens in this episode?
Basically, Odin gives Loki back to the Frost Giants, and then Thor doesn't have to basically learn life lessons from his brother, and basically doesn't have to, I guess, grow up. Even in the first Thor, he had to learn that, but I guess he was better in the first Thor. In this regards, he had no one to improve from, and that's sometimes what we learn. So I guess that's the what if scenario, but I don't know, it just wasn't as interesting as the other ones.
Yeah, so he grows up an only child, and because of that he becomes kind of bratty and likes to party, and he goes to different planets and causes the destruction of the planets through, I guess it was implying that because they party too much, or because they just do dumb things.
With the goat, yeah.
Yeah, and then he comes to Earth. We see some familiar faces from the first Thor movie. Natalie Portman's character,
Jane Frost.
Yeah, that's her name. I couldn't think of it. So she notices that there's an extraterrestrial coming to Earth. She follows him. He's in Vegas, and then he parties, and they still kind of fall in love, and they party together, and they do a bunch of dumb things, go to different parts of the world, and as you said, because Nick Fury gets injured by Korg, he then he's second in command. She becomes stand-in director, and then she chooses to press the beeper and bring down Captain Marvel, and which is kind of a funny scene because the doctor's friend, she's like, oh, what's the beeper for? Like, my dad's got a beeper, but he's a podiatrist. And it's like, oh, what are we beeping? You're getting a podiatrist? And it's kind of funny. So then the show follows Captain Marvel and Thor fighting it out because that they think that Thor's uncontrollable. Like, he's not a threat,
No,
he's just
not really.
uncontrollable with his partying and the behaviours, and we see cameos galore of different characters. So what are some of the people we see and places that Thor goes to in this episode?
We see Loki as a Prince Frost Giant, what was cool. We see Handu, we see Drax, we see Nebula, we see
I think Mantis as well.
yeah, and we see so many characters. We see everyone basically turned up.
We see the Duck again.
Yeah.
And so we have they're partying. They like party in Sydney. You see them on the Sydney Harbour Bridge. We see them put ice on the Mount Rushmore. We see them go to Stonehenge Rock. We see them go to a whole bunch of places. And what it comes down to, Captain Marvel's basically with her as a weapon, and the nukes are going to just destroy Thor because he can't be controlled. But Jane Frost goes and lets his mother know, and then what happens from there?
Basically, it's like, I got to clean up my mess now. Can you all help me? And it's like, it's your problem. And then he convinces everyone, and then the mother's coming, and then in all that time they clean up everything, and then eventually when she does, they're doing their history lesson.
Yeah, so he's scared of his mum disciplines him, and he learns from his mistakes, and then I'm thinking he then gets told he has to stay on Earth, and she sends down what would you call them, like those guardian things, like the like right at the end, you said there was a scene that you think might carry on those guards that come down with the red.
Oh yes, that Vision was actually kind of like Ultron and had the Infinity Stones.
Yeah. So we see them coming. I was thinking they were like, in the first Thor, there came that thing that he had to fight that could shoot the red laser beams, and they used them as like guardians. They weren't those.
No.
Okay, that's what I thought it was. So that kind of summarised the episodes. What's some nitpicks or things you liked about it?
Like I said, if it wasn't for the ending, I would say this would 100% be the worst episode, even though I think Thor is an amazing character. I just feel like the ending kind of saved the episode, and it makes it really exciting what the next episode could possibly be with, the epic conclusion. But besides that, it doesn't really stand out. I think it's kind of Captain Marvel showed up, but like you said, it felt like they used her to basically take on Thor. Like, would Nick Fury do the same thing? Probably not. He just would have been like, boy, you settle down and stop partying. That's all needed to happen.
Yeah.
What's your thought?
Yeah, I think I said earlier, I think it's the worst episode.
Yeah.
Not that it was bad, it's just the least interesting. The scenario, it's a bit of fun. They threw it in there, that's cool. But in terms of storyline and something that makes you think,
yeah, it's
not like that. It's not like, oh, well, if this did change, wouldn't that be cool? That would change the universe. And this is just like, cool, Thor likes to party. It's like, so it's not something you'd watch again or anything special. But it was fun to see a whole bunch of characters cameo in it, and yeah, it had some funny moments. Not bad, but the worst of the good out of a good show so far.
So, do you think this will be a first time for episode 8 that an episode will actually continue its story? Because the ending makes me think that it will.
I have a feeling it won't. I don't reckon there'll be a follow-on. I think it's just like some of the other episodes where we're just left on a cliffhanger of, what happens next? I think that's just the beauty of it. We will never know the answer. So I don't think it'll carry on. What's a nitpick you had with this episode?
Nitpick?
Yeah.
Nothing really happens that much until Captain Marvel shows up, so it feels like they have to involve her in this situation, and was it really necessary? Like, I don't know. It just, out of all the episodes that Captain Marvel could have been in, it just felt like that. To show off who's the most powerful one. What was cool, but it just feels meaningless.
Yeah, I agree. I question whether there'd actually be an even fight. I would have thought that Captain Marvel would have been much more powerful than Loki. Thor, sorry. I question would Thor be friends with all those different people?
Yeah.
Like, how would he even know Drax or Korg or... how would he know these people and the fact that do they just travel around and party with him? I don't know. I guess you're not meant to think into it, but that was just like, probably wouldn't happen. It was very unbelievable compared to the other scenarios.
Yeah. Do you have any nitpicks?
That was probably my one, the believability of some of the things. I don't know, that's more it. There's just an episode of just kind of, it was over the top and it was just unbelievable, but I guess some episodes are going to be like that. It's hard to pull plot holes in something that's so silly that it's unbelievable. So that's probably my question, because you go, well, I guess it could have happened, I just think it's silly. That's probably it. So it's hard to find any big nitpicks in it.
So with 3 episodes remaining, are you looking forward to seeing what's other scenarios they come up with, or it's kind of like, well...
Yeah, I am. I think now we know what direction they're willing to take. I think we might find some more silly scenarios that come up. So, which is okay. They're just a bit of fun. They're 40-minute cartoons. I'm cool with that. Any predictions to what you think the next episode might be about, or you think it's going to be a follow-on?
I would like to see it be a follow-on, but I think it's going to involve Iron Man and a couple of different characters, so we'll see what happens then, and hopefully it's a good episode.
What do I think it might be? Who's someone we haven't seen much of? We've seen Ant-Man feature, but we haven't seen him have his own episode.
No.
Maybe something with Scott Lang, or... I'd like to see something Spidey, but we already kind of know about the Spider-Verse, and we've seen alternate scenarios there. Maybe something Hulk-related.
Yeah.
That maybe Ant-Man or Hulk-related. I'd like to see them get their own standalone episodes.
Sounds cool. Well, thank you for helping, Luke. Hope you enjoyed the video. Hope you enjoyed the next episode 8 as well. See you in the next video. Let the force be with you. Bye bye.